Hey peeps, and welcome to a nice 82 review. We've got a beautiful little locomotive here today. It's a steam locomotive, which is interesting because only a few days ago somebody said, can you please do more steam reviews? Well, here you go, here is one. I tried to please everybody, but it's impossible. So we've got a steam locomotive being reviewed today, and this is special because it's been sent in by John Sharman, who he's only up the road. Well, he's in Newcastle-under-Lyme, which is even closer to my hometown of Alsager, where I'm from. And speaking of Alsager, he sent in a few wagons. He sent in a wagon here with Foxfield on the side of it, and then he sent in a wagon with Alsager on the side of it, and another one with Alsager on the side of it. I guess they're real, I guess they are factual. I don't think they're fictitious. I don't know of a J settle, but then if it's an Alsager registered wagon, then it could be over 100 years old. So I'm probably not likely to know him. But it's still absolutely incredible, and I'm really thankful to John for sending this in because Alsager is where I'm from, and it is one tiny, tiny little town in the south of Cheshire. Although it did have quite a lot of sidings. It even had its own loco shed. It had its own loco shed allocation code. So that was quite fascinating. I should do a video on it one day. I should do the history of where I'm from and stuff. That'd be really interesting. So, thank you, John, so much for sending these in. I didn't even know they existed, and that is just brilliant. So I will get these looked at. And of course, the Foxfield one is applicable because this locomotive is a J94 in NCB livery, and it's called Whiston. And I don't know if you recall, but when I did a video on the Foxfield Railway, I actually walked right past this very loco. John saw it and thought, hey, I've got that, I'll send it in to you. And so thanks so much, John, for sending that in. We really should meet up sometime and talk about trains, it'd be great. So, the J94 is obviously a Hornby model. There's no prizes for that. It's NCB livery, yes, it's National Coal Board livery. Now, these are very interesting locomotives because they're actually LNER locomotives, as I understand them, and they were built by various manufacturers. This one is Hunslet. They were really powerful, really strong. So they were classified 4F. The F stands for freight, and the 4 is a sort of power rating. And 4 is pretty powerful. I mean, a Black 5 is only about power rating 5 or 6, maybe 7, I don't think it's that high. And they had a tractive effort of about 24,000 pounds per square foot or something, which is only about 1,500 lower than a Black 5. So they might not have been as fast or as had the range of a Black 5, but they were almost as powerful, which is really impressive. Very, very short wheelbase. Very short wheelbase. It's clearly an 060, nothing at the front, nothing at the back, 6 wheels in the middle. 3 on this side, 3 on the other side, obviously. The very short wheelbase meant that they were brilliant, fantastic at tight railways, at very, very windy curves. So they were perfect for going around, maybe not quite that tight, they were perfect for going around Docklands railways and industrial railways, such as those found in the coal industry. What else can I tell you? They were withdrawn between 1960 and 1967. A load of them were sold to the National Coal Board. Loads have been preserved. It's like over 20, I think. Not all of them are running, but loads have been kept, which is really, really important. 2 inside cylinders powered the thing, had a pretty impressive water tank capacity, pretty impressive coal capacity, and that's about it really. If you want to find out anything more on it, then feel free to do so. There's loads of information out there on the internet. It's time to open the box. Okay, so this packaging stems from the early 2000s, I think, or early to mid 2000s. It's being replaced now, but it still does the job. It's not too bad. I should imagine there are probably a couple of accessories in there, such as it's usually Bill and Ben, the 2 guys that drive the thing. Well, one's the driver, one's the fireman. So finger in the back, pop it out, unravel this. Gosh, we've not seen any tissue paper like this for a while, have we? And this is actually in remarkable condition. Look, oops, the cat hasn't got to this at all. Meow. Wow. Oh, folks, look at this. John, what a beautiful locomotive. Look at that. This is, oh my gosh, sprung buffers as well. Oh no, this is nice. Wow, this is absolutely beautiful. I was not expecting this. I absolutely was not expecting this. Okay, they're not NEM couplings, but it's not too much of a problem. It's not too much of a problem. They have at least included the nice slim tension locks, which are a little bit more realistic, so that's not too bad. And the same goes on the rear. But just look at this detail. Look at the underframe detail there. Look at the beautiful wheels, the beautiful livery application. Whiston National Coal Board. Safety valves, whistles, even the little chimney looks really cute. Is this, yes, that, well, I'm not too sure if it's plastic or metal, but we've got a beautiful handrail there. There's even cab detail. Look at that. Oh, now this coal, I think John has done this coal. That definitely doesn't look like standard Hornby issue coal. That is fantastic, John. That is really nice. You've done a cracking job there. Again, sprung buffers on the rear and the back. And the front. Yes, front and rear, which is really, really nice. Again, more detail underneath. You can see the brakes, you can see the regulator, you can see the valves. That is amazing. You can see the handbrake there. That's the one that they spin. Oh, the reverser. I wasn't expecting this. I genuinely wasn't. And there's rivets all over the place. You know I like my rivets, folks. You know I do. And look at that. Look at all the detail on the buffer beam. These need weathering up a bit and making, you know, you need to grease them up a little bit and make them look a bit weathered. Oh, even the little lamp just resting there on the sole bar. Just fantastic. I genuinely didn't think it would have this level of detail. For such a little locomotive, for such a relatively old Hornby model as well, to be honest. The tooling is probably in need of an update, but I mean, this is just fantastic. This is really, really nice. Okay, let's just put her on the track and see how well she runs. Okay, so here we are in the conservatory at the test layout. This has become the test layout now, that's its official name. I'm going to keep it even when I'm doing nothing but proper layout videos and your Model Railway Village videos and GWR videos, because this is just such a fantastic layout for testing locomotives on, so I am going to keep it. Besides, it's become a World Heritage Site. I'm not allowed to touch it now. The government says so. Right, so there is John Sharman's gorgeous Hornby J94 Whiston. Now, I'm pretty sure it's DC. I can't remember what John actually said. I think it's still DC. Let's find out. There's one way to check. I've got the Gauge Master Combi controller rigged up for the outer loop, so let's just give it a bit of juice. Oh yes, that's nice. That's realistic speed as well. Hornby have fitted some beautiful gearing. Oh, maybe the wheels and the track need a bit of a clean. Let's give it a bit more power. A little bit more power, there we go. That's better. Let me just check those wheels actually. They're not too bad. The wheels are pretty clean. Maybe my track, maybe my loop needs a... Oh yeah, look, I think my I'm gonna have to go around the loop with one of my little cleaning tools. So yeah, we'll cut for a moment and I'll see you in a second. We're back, so let's put the locomotive on again. The track has been given, the loop has been given a clean. I'll put John's wagons on as well, so we've got a lovely All-Sage one, another All-Sage one. These wagons by Dapol are so good. The loads inside, I'm just trying to, there we go. Yes? No? Just trying to get it to be compatible with the actual locomotive's coupling. Yeah, the loads are not very realistic, but they're easy to take out and put something more realistic in, so it's not too bad. And it's better than them giving you nothing, I suppose. Bizarrely, there's no tension locks, no tension hooks on the Foxfield one. I'm pretty sure it's come in like that. Yeah, there's not even anything in the box. But it's okay, we can get it to couple up just fine, I think. There we go. So yeah, they're nice. I do apologise for the sound of the rain and the pigeons. There's not much I can do about that. And it's the British summer, so hence the rain. Right, let's give it a bit more juice again then, and see if she runs a little bit better now. Oh yes, that's a definite improvement. That's fantastic. Oh no, she stopped again. Maybe her wheels do need a clean as well. I'll give her wheels a bit of a quick clean, and then we'll actually get her running around the loop. And there's the proof. This is the cotton wool bud I've just used to clean the locomotive's wheels. And you can see there was a little bit of tarnishing on them. Nothing major at all. So hopefully now she's going to be running fantastically. Yes. Even at slow speed. Right, so I'll get her going around the loop then and pulling this little freight train. A really smooth mechanism there, folks. It's a really nice, high quality mechanism. Uh-oh, Hornby express points. Whoa! Yes! Yes! Well done, you little beauty! Ah, honestly, these Hornby express points, just look at that dead zone. It's about as big as Canada. But it made it fantastic. This is one quality little steam loco. I'm really impressed. I didn't think that this tiny little model would be so good, but it is. Okay, so I've applied a little bit more power. Just as nice, and still realistic. Okay, here she comes. We'll just start to slow her down, nice and gradually. Slower, slower still. Wow. Oh, that is so cute. Honestly, thank you so much, John, for sending such a cracking little model in. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to have to get one. Definitely. What livery should I get one in? Please leave your comment below. Recommend a good livery to me and I'll go and get one, because it's high time I had one of these. I'm gonna get it ready to send back to John, but before it goes back, John did talk about its haulage capability. Just how strong is it? Well, I'm pleased to report we've got a very fancy video coming up in the ICH2 Extreme branding, where we're going to test practically every model I have and find out who is the strongest loco of them all. So keep your eyes peeled for that. In the meantime, I really do recommend the J94 from Hornby. It is just one fantastic little model. How do you say welcome in Irish?
Here is your translation.
Right. Okay, yeah. Forget that. Hey, welcome peeps to another IC82 review. As you probably guessed, we're looking at an Irish locomotive today. I was going to be all clever and fancy and greet everybody in Irish, but just don't go there. Do not go there. I want to travel there one day, so that's why I'm not going to go there, because I'll offend an entire nation. But wow, what's going on? Where's the Hornby red? Or the Bachmann blue? What is this? This is black, and it says Murphy Models. Scale 176, although that's interesting because I'll come back to that in a moment. Yes, we're finally looking at another international locomotive. This model is definitely not British. It's Irish. It's in intercity livery. If I just hold at the end here, you can see it's, oh gosh, I'm going to get this wrong as well now. Is it Aerod Erin? Basically Irish Railways. Diesel locomotive, class 201, number 222, and it's intercity livery, and this is Riverdale. So yeah, I'm looking at this for a couple of reasons. One, I get a lot of people asking me to do more international locomotives, which is hard though, guys, because you're basically asking me to buy, with my own cash, a train which I don't really want to run or don't want to keep. So it's kind of hard, okay? I'll do the best I can. It'll get easier when I can sell them on using the website and stuff. I can do more and more then. But this did look quite cool, so I was happy to go for this one. I don't know if I'll keep it, but we'll see. And the second reason is, about a month ago, Ireland celebrated legalising same-sex marriage across the whole country, which is really, really cool, okay? Because I just hate any bigoted nonsense of, oh, that person shouldn't be allowed to love that person. You know, who do you think you are? It's just ridiculous. Just let people be, okay? let people be. Just, you know, love and let be. I mean, you know, where's the harm? I don't get it. So, well done, Ireland. Really, really cool. Dead proud of you. Really, really can't wait to go and check out your awesome trains. I mean, just look at this bad boy. Wow, I have never seen anything like it. And look, this is really cool, isn't it? They've marked up a little illustration of what the train looks like on the side. It's not a very big one, but hey, what a cool train set that would make. Well, they should make a train set. Okay, yes, it's a class 201. I can tell you a little bit of information about it before we open the box, because there's not very much on the box, is there? Not suitable for children under 14 years. Right. Okay, is that it? Company details. Some photos. There we go. I think that's what we've got today. One of those. How cool is that? Intercity. We just need to get a big black pen and write 82 on the side like that. What else can I tell you then? Okay, they're diesel electric units. You know what that means. Basically, you burn diesel, you burn fossil fuels. So burn lots of million-year-old sea animals to create electricity, which is used to power a motor there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And that's how it moves. It's as simple as that. General Motors is the manufacturer. But this is what's so fascinating. Look, it says scale 176, but they are not the same gauge as standard gauge. They're not standard gauge. In real life, they are 5 foot 3 inches instead of the 4 foot 8.5 inches, I think it is, or something. So they're a bit bigger. They're a bit wider than British locomotives and American locomotives and French and German and Australian. No, actually, I'm not too sure what the gauge is in Australia. I think they're the same as us. I'm not too sure. So yeah, a bit similar to Russia. They're a bit wider. So I thought that was interesting. It's a V12 turbocharged diesel 12-cylinder engine inside. Top speed just over 100 miles per hour. 3,200 horsepower is the output of the engine, which is pretty hefty. But only 32 of them are built, with a couple going to Northern Ireland, I think. And they were manufactured between 1994 and 1995. So they're getting on now. They're getting quite old, which is interesting. And what's really sad is that a lot of them have been replaced already. They're bringing in, is it the class 22,000 or 2,200 or something? It's basically like I think it's a DMU. And those are slowly but surely replacing these intercity loco hauled services all over Ireland. I think there are still a few left if you want to go and check them out, and I know I do. I think there are still a few services in Ireland that use this locomotive, but its days are probably, those services days are probably numbered. So be quick. What's really cool, and I have got to tell you this before I open the box, is that Ireland was so keen to test one of these and to get drivers trained up on it and stuff, that they flew one in using an Antonov AN-124 heavy haul aircraft. How cool is that? I mean, it's like an episode of Thunderbirds or something. Apart from I don't think anyone died. I don't think anything went wrong. So yeah, two of my favourite worlds collide. Aviation and trains. So let's open this box and see what you get. Well, it is a beautiful box. Honestly, it's really nice. I love the full colour photos. I love the quality of it. It's really, really good. I do think this is the retooling, because I must point out that in the early 2000s, Murphy Models commissioned Lima to make them some locomotives. And then years later, they said, hey, we're going to make some ourselves. I think this is that second batch, I think this is their own version, but you can tell, I mean, there's still hints of Lima. You'll see. There's a little care sheet inside. It's really small. You've got some information on the locomotive here. It's quite concise, but it's basically what I've just told you. So it talks about when they were introduced. It talks about the weight and the length of the units. What I did find interesting is it says they are fitted for multiple operation within the class 201, so basically like for like is not a problem, but this is not permitted on the Irish network. Is that true? That can't be true. Why is that true? Please do comment below and tell me, why are they not allowed to couple up in multiple units? That's really bizarre. And then it talks about the routes. So here you go. So Dublin to Cork, Dublin to Galway, Dublin to Waterford, Westport, Limerick. I mean, these are all fantastic Irish places. They really are. Replacing the older 071 class. Now, if you look that up, it's not actually too dissimilar. It does look slightly similar, but apparently that's really old. It does talk about them having a checkered history, a checkered past. Apparently, they suffered a few technical problems, such as engine fires and the bogies cracking and having to have work done to them. So yeah, a little bit mixed. And then it talks about the liveries and the nameplates and stuff. So that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. And then on the other side, now this is really interesting. It talks about mounting the optional parts, which is okay, that's fine. But then look at this. The mounting of decoder and ESU sound decoder. Look at that. You have to grab a knife, open the roof panel, and then that reveals the socket where you can fit the decoder. And then obviously you replace the roof panel again. So different. Honestly, so bizarre. Right. So what we do then is we take off this outer layer and we look at this little bag of accessories. Now this is really strange as well. Look, they've given you a sort of screwdriver. You've actually got like a little screwdriver inside there. Well, I assume it's a screwdriver. I don't know. It might be used as a tool to just flip off the roof or to get into the body. I don't know. And then there's some detailing here. You've got multiple unit wires, possibly. You've got air brakes and yeah, the grab rails, the little grab rails that you can fit onto the bottom. I'm not too sure what these are. I thought they were air dams at first, but I don't think they are. I really don't know. And unfortunately, the instructions don't say either. No. Really, really bizarre. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame, that is. And then, of course, you've got the locomotive itself, and it's really quite nice. It's basically wrapped up in this like sheet of cellophane, so you just sort of carefully lift it. Oh, here we go. You carefully lift it out of its packaging, and whoa! There you go. That's it. I don't think there's anything else. I think the rest of that is just packaging. Yet. And so yeah, there we go. There's the model. Look at this. I have never seen anything like this on the IC82 channel before. Wow. Well, the first thing you notice is the weight. It's incredibly heavy. There's obviously a really good motor mechanism inside here, which is really reassuring. So I'm quite looking forward to that. It says Murphy Models on the bottom there. The underframe detail is there, but it's sort of detailed and intricate, but really basic at the same time. What I mean is that they've included a little bit of colour there, which is really quite bizarre. The detail is very intricate. Look at this. I mean, just look at all that bogie detail. Look at the cabling. Look at the hydraulics. It's really quite impressive. But at the same time, look how it's just... Oh, sorry. That's that's Messenger going on my phone. But at the same time, look how basic it is. Do you see what I mean? There's no realistic colouring or weathering to it at all. I mean, even black would probably be a little bit more realistic. I don't know. I've not seen them in real life. But if we have a look at the photo of one... I mean, just look at those bogies there. And then compare them to the bogies here. Now, I don't know about you, but I think it's a throwback to the days of Lima, possibly, because these bogies, and in fact, this colour of plastic looks very Lima-like to me. It really does. So maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe I have got the old tooling, I don't know. I don't think I have, but maybe I have. Maybe you would know more about that. Something else that I also want to point out really quickly is that the bogies, you see you've got a lovely NEM coupling here, which is fantastic. And again, just like with many Bachmann and Hornby models, it's got this really fancy spring-loaded twisty-turny thing so that basically nothing derails as you go around the track. But as the bogie rotates, it catches that coupling, which I think is a bit of a shame and could be a problem. And it's the same at the other end, look. So I thought that was worth pointing out. Also, the buffers, I mean, look how drunk they are. They're just all over the place. Look, I told you, you're on camera, so behave. But they just spin around like crazy. I'm going to see if I can do something about that and stop them from doing that, because that's just so annoying. They are spring-loaded though, ever so slightly, which is good. But yeah, they're just... Oh, there you go. Oh, it's so annoying. But they just twist and twist loads. So yeah, I'll see if I can do something about that. But yeah, you have got a nice slimline tension lock coupler there in a NEM socket, so that's really good. I hope those lights are going to light up. I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. But I think a golden eagle's just flown in over. But the detail on the rest of the model is out of this world. Just look at this. Look at these handrails here, or grab rails, or whatever you call them. They are amazing. And then look at those wipers. I have not seen wipers that good on a Bachmann or Hornby model. That's just brilliant. There's even an open window here, and you can see, oh sorry, no, it's not open. No, it's not open. It does flex a little, but it's not open. But there's even some very, very basic cab detail inside. Look at that. Just incredible. I can't really comment too much on the livery and how realistic the livery is, because I've never seen it in real life, so I don't know how accurate that is. But I can tell you that, look, the similarities between this and the rest of General Motors is striking, because even this exhaust manifold is basically identical to the one on a Class 67 or a Class 66. So you can tell that it's definitely part of that family. I did notice earlier that I think it was, some of the detail seems a little bit loose, like it's not been very well attached. So the build quality is sort of average, but it's alright. It gets away with it because the rest of the model is just so detailed. I mean, you've even got different colours on the roof. This grille here is particularly lovely, and you can see right through the locomotive as well. Very, very impressive. I do like the livery. It's so different. It really does look foreign. It looks like something from another country. You know, the way you've got this twin stripe running across the top of the locomotive in a sort of yellow and green. Well, it's sort of like a cream colour and green. Green is very, very Irish, isn't it? Very Irish, so I'm quite pleased with that. And then how they have to have the yellow ends as well, just like we do, because of the regulations that state, you know, the end of the locomotive has to be as high visibility as possible so that people can see it coming. So plus points then, absolutely brimming with detail, even if some of that detail could do with some work. I think it would be amazing to paint this and to weather it. Absolutely incredible. If you'd like to see me do something like that, let me know. It's really, really heavy, and it just looks stunning. And things like the NEM sockets and the sprung buffers add a real touch of class. However, the cons are that sometimes the build quality feels a little bit temperamental. This really unrealistic grey plastic that's everywhere lets it down ever so slightly. The spinny buffers really wind me up something rotten. But that's about it. That really is it. I think we've just got to put it on the track and see how well she runs. Okay, well, thank you for joining me over at the test loop. We're still working on the permanent way. Engineering works are still taking place on the outer loop, and so once again we're using the inner loop today. But it's fine, it's third radius, so it's going to be really gentle on the locomotive, and we should be able to give it a good test. It sits on the track really nicely. I just get wound up by those buffers spinning all over the place. Wow. Gosh, I've never seen anything like it on the layout. It's amazing. And, you know, Ireland's only several hundred miles away, if that. But it's just so radical, so different. Okay, we've got the fantastic Gauge Master Combi controller plugged in today. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of juice. Oh, that's nice. I didn't see any rear lights, I didn't see any tail lights, but there's definitely lights as it comes towards you. Look at those two tiny ones underneath the locomotive number of 222. Wow, what a beast! Gosh, she rolls like thunder. I'm sure there's probably a song in there somewhere. And look at the slow speed performance. Slower, slower. Oh my gosh. Okay. 10 out of 10 for performance, and she's not even gone anywhere. Right, okay, let's get it going around the loop then. Very, very impressive. Beautifully reassuring rumble to her. I mean, there's so much weight to this model, and there's so much power in that motor mechanism. It's quality. I mean, the underframe detail might not be the best I've ever seen, but the motor is stunning. Okay, so let's slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Oh, beautiful. Oh, look at that. As smooth as a baby's bum. Honestly, incredible. The motor mechanism inside this model is second to none, folks. It's easily as good as anything by Haljan or Bachmann or Hornby. I am a little bit disappointed by some of the grey plastics. I think they could be improved. I'm going to try and do that, especially if you really want to see it. I really will. I'm impressed that there are lights, and actually there are tail lights. Once you've got it up to plenty of power, they do just about come on. I think I can try and get it. I think I can show you now. There you go. See those? They're just there, aren't they? They're the inner clusters. And the white lights are not just the center clusters, but the outermost lights as well. So, yes, very impressive. It must be the retool. It's gotta be the retool. It's just so incredible to have such a model like this in the collection. Do I recommend it? Well, yeah, definitely. It's worth building an Irish-based layout just for this locomotive alone. It is that smart and that incredible. I wonder if you can get the coaches for it.